Hey, everybody, welcome. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know that this is a little bit of a midday session for everybody. Once again, my name is Godfather. I'm from State 1166 currently, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the game update that we all just woke up to today, mergers as to what's going on with 1166 and where we're going to be going to. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tundra album and discover that in game live. And then we're going to wrap up with Generation 8. So I'm seeing a couple people joining on. Thank you very much for joining. Nika, Rash, appreciate it. If you can you guys hear me okay? Is the audio coming through all right? Give me a thumbs up. All right, all right. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So a couple of days ago, those that are VIP 12 and so can get this sneak peek. So I've been going through that and discussing with a couple of other folks in terms of what's going on. This update is packed full of goodies for us, including some free rewards. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about Merger, give you all a little bit of an update as to what's going on, how the leadership team in the 1166 is approaching it with our merger to be. So as you can see here, the point of the merger is essentially to start getting people to continue to actively play together. And they look at a comparison of active, lesser active states, and then potentially some states that are falling apart. And there's a number of reasons why states fall apart. Not all of them are for some toxic players. I appreciate that. I appreciate the subscription as well as the super chat on here. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that very much. I'm very new to the live thing, but as part of last transfer, we actually got another big YouTuber into the state who predominantly does lives. And I've been watching some of his content, even though it's in Turkish and I don't understand. And I think it's super fun and engaging. So hopefully I'll be doing a few more of these going forward. But the whole purpose of the mergers is essentially to create more activity and competition within a state. So the game will look at activity levels, spending levels, progression levels, and then make decisions in terms of who's going to go together. And more often than not, everybody moves into the younger state. This does not change your eligibility to transfer into states that are, I believe it's like 180 to 200 days younger than where you're at today. So with that being said, as you can see this in front, we have 1166 merging with not only one, but two states. So, what's our luck? We've been going for a winning streak in the past 10 months. We just went against Han in 1127 last month, and we got a very good humbling experience. We did very well against them, but we were able to remove our leading state curse, which will actually get into the game update as to what's coming up. And we're going to be merging with two states. So in 1134, it appears that there's one active alliance. In 1181, there appears to be two active alliances. The leadership team in the 1166 is taking the bull by the horns because we're organized, because we have a lot of structure, because we carry the heaviest amount of folks in terms of activity, engagement, obviously popularity within our bracket, etc. And we're going to be ushering in how we can work together in 1181 once merger happens in exactly a week from now. And the hopes for us are to essentially utilize the same established rule set that we have today in terms of state presidency, BIA rules, NAP eligibility per se, how we address conflict, and how we essentially cooperate together in the big state versus state type of events, such as SVS, Frost Dragon, and obviously the new Tundra Arms League, which is extremely exciting and probably the best addition to the game, in my opinion, since I've started playing a little bit over a year. So I'll take a quick pause right here. I wanted to say thank you so much for everybody that's joining me on chat. Appreciate the super chats that are coming through. God bless. Really appreciate that. It's exciting to see you. I see Keen, I see Willow, Lifting Chick, Burbs, Chica, Rash, etc. So thanks so much for being here. So with the mergers, once again, our approach is we're getting a Discord channel together, and we invited representatives from each of the alliances, and we're going to start the conversations of understanding the bylaws and the rules and see if there's any compromises there. Now, the leadership team in the 1166 has done the forethought of planning ahead of what different NAP numbers look like. So we're currently a NAP 3, and we could potentially be looking at a NAP 6 when this is all said and done. But what happens when you have too many? You start diluting some of the free rewards that the game gives you via forts and strongholds. And the ideal of a state presidency is not one that I'm particularly fond of, because my history shows that sometimes entitlement with rotation creates drama and problems. So in 1166, just so everybody knows, NAP decides on who the president's going to be based off of their competency to execute on the job, because it's essentially like a part-time job to be able to do the ministries, the interstate relationship items, and things like transfer. But it's a big deal. And we also look in the SVS, we look at who our competition is going to be, so we can put presidency behind state strategy. So kind of two things being measured in parallel. It's a really healthy discussion as to who gets it and what they're responsible for. But once again, it predominantly runs around competency to complete the job and the trust that people have in the individual to hold the position. Hoping that some of the other alliances in 1181 and 34 at some point maybe get presidency. That's going to be based off of the relationships that we build and how smooth this merger goes. Because there's really only two options, right? When you're looking at mergers, and we've seen this in other states, either everybody gets along or nobody gets along. But that gray area in between is riddled with drama. And for me personally, and probably for you guys listening in, you guys probably don't want any of that drama to begin with. So with that being said, we're very excited to be going into 1181. We're going to miss our tag with the 1166. The WTFN News Network and Anchorman will be moving as well. So don't worry there. And we're hoping that with 1134 and 1181, we can come up to an agreement in the most amicable and peaceful way. Now, for those of you in the 1134 and 1181 listening in, I know that there's been a lot of excitement with some of the alliances that we have in 66 coming over because of our reputation, winning Frost Dragon, this YouTube channel, obviously a lot of the named individuals that we have in each of the alliances, that you may want to be merging or joining those alliances. I will say this out of the gate, for bugs specifically, we're not accepting any applicants at this time. We want to make sure that we focus on the merger, we make it as smooth as possible, and then future state, we'd be looking at additional candidates if they want to join and if we have the room for that to happen. So, yeah, everybody, no drama. That's right. Drama's only good for tea. So here's some of the other ones. So let's talk a little bit about some of the game content that's coming up. And we're going to go into the Tundra albums at the end. I have not done, well, I lie. I've done a little bit of the Tundra albums this morning when I got up as I was drinking my coffee. And it looks pretty interesting, but I haven't really delved into it. So I'm hoping that we get to do that together with you guys in chat. Please share your experiences and what you see there. Yeah, rest in peace, 1166. We're going to miss you. You've been great. Love the number, but we're going to be 1181 as of next Wednesday. All right. At the end of this video, I'm also going to get through Generation 8 and then open up for AMA if you guys have any questions. All right, so let's jump in, skip through here. This patch is just awesome. If you guys follow some of the Discords out there and the wiki with the developer feedback that's going on, I haven't seen this much enhancement in the game in a very long time. So it feels like back to back to back to back, we're getting new benchmarks for strength with Charm 16, with obviously the new generations that come out every 3 months or so, the announcement of Chief Gear Tier 4, the experts being introduced. The rewards are getting slightly better, so there's some tuning and tweaking to how the rewards are provisioned based off of your state's progression. So those are really good. And in this patch, there's a lot of like quality of life things, right? So the bear hunt, adding the auto registration feature so you don't have to kick it off manually, that's a good thing, especially if you're a very pragmatic and organized alliance. You essentially want to have your events around the same time, if not the same time, all the time. This allows people to schedule around it. They make sure that they can be eligible for it. Registration kind of falls in place for it, but with bear specifically, that happens 3 to 4 times a week. And it's one of the best ways of having no cost investment into stones for improvement on hero gear. Now this can kick off with or without an R4 being present. So that's a good thing. The castle battle, I think this is good, right? Reduction of commitment, essentially, where we're taking it from a 5-hour battle, from a 6-hour battle to a 5-hour battle, and reducing the occupation time from 3 hours to 2.5 hours. I think that's a good thing. When you're a younger state, not so much, because you might be in the position where you're still battling for that castle. But when you're more mature state and you start working as a state, you're really using this as a way of assigning presidency, having your name on the history records for the castle, and more specifically for testing formation, strategy, new generation heroes, and things of the like. So with all the other big time commitment events like Frost Dragon and now Tundra Arms League, I appreciate the game giving us a bye so we can get back to our regular lives that we don't have to participate in there. Okay. Lighthouse intel, with Agnes being introduced and the ability to have up to, I think it's like 15 lighthouses at any given point. If you're like me, you're trying to get through those as fast as possible. It's nice to click one button and claim it all at the same time. So you set out your hunts, you do your rescue missions, you do your little, fighting missions, and then clear the board by hitting it. Especially when you're going into what we just went through with the beasts that give you those additional benefits. It's nice because you're queuing up like 3 in a time, and it just, little pains of life that you can get rid of. Just gonna look at the chat here. Oh yeah, everybody knows who Willow. She's got like accounts in just about every major state that there is. Tyrant Willow, that'll be the day. Nice to see you, Heartless. Thank you for being here. Willow wants a 24-hour fight. I'd probably quit the game if it were a 24-hour fight. Anyways, Daybreak Island. Hey, for those of you that really like to go all out on your island, you get some new features there where you get some new decorations. But I'm going to skip ahead to some of the main ones, right? So Alliance Championship, it's probably one of those undersung events that happens just about every week. You get to queue up. You set and forget the lanes that you're going to be battling against you, and then now you can batch adjust it. So this is also, and I want to call this out to a lot of folks out there, this is also a really great place to test out individual formations. So you can have a group of players with one formation and another group of players with another formation and see how it matches. So if you're testing a 60-40-0 or a 45-10-45 or 40-20-40, you can kind of set that up to see what works. And my recommendation is look at the generation of heroes that they're carrying and align the formation that they use to that generation. So generation 7 and on, maybe it's a 60-40. Perhaps you're going to go with a 45-10-45. Previous to that, if you're way young, then go with a 5-2-3. Things of that nature, great place to experiment with. It is no effort, no cost, and you get a lot of good feedback from it. All right. Territory Teleporter. I've always wondered about this since I started the game. I came from another game that had this already implemented. But when you're looking at Territory Teleporter, it's a TP that allows you to go into your alliance territory. Usually you get it when you're an alt in a new state or something and you're trying to get close to your hive. But you can never really select where you went. It gives you a limited number of blocks that you can go into, right? Now, instead of using an advanced teleporter, which costs 2,000 gems, and we're going to need for the Tundra Arms League, as we know in a big way, we want to save those. Now, when you're moving around the territory, so in your alliance, let's say that you're trading spots for bear, then you don't have to use the advanced teleporter. And the game will automatically use this territory teleporter versus the advanced one, which you can get for essentially no cost at all with some of the readily available packs that they give out, or even in your alliance shop. Snowbusters, increasing. I think, snowbusters, for all intents and purposes, I covered this in another video. Happy to link that for you guys. It's not an event that I would recommend anybody to be spending on by any means. It takes forever. It's long in the tooth in the advanced stages. This essentially is just normalizing that a little bit and making it more palatable. Chief gear, obviously, T4 has been announced. The requirements for the stones and the lunar embers, etc., that you need for this, so the design plans, all that stuff that you need for this, are quite high. There's many whales that probably have much of this if they've been diligent at exchanging. You can get it for relatively no cost, but we should be seeing this to be, another big whale milestone, not really accessible to most players in current generations, right? So I'm looking at those states that are in that generation 7, 8 mindset, and I'm looking at the whales that are there right now. The whales are either going to have to spend a lot of money in order to max that out day one, or you're going to be biding your time. From the diminishing returns that we're seeing with everything new right now, if you want that little bit of an edge, go right ahead. But in my opinion, and it's one of those things that will help you stay engaged in the game, including CJ, that you can get through, right? So hopefully now, this being released to most servers, CJ can get a revamped version of itself and get better rewards, or the ability to get good rewards when people can't empty their cities, as it's mostly the case now. All right. Hey, Six Toes is here. Nice to see you. Laura, nice to see you too. Nice. Reaper, nice to see you. We've had a lot of good conversations. Hopefully you heard that shout out. Yeah, we're all very excited. Awesome. And unlike the other streamer that we have with Black Ted, I speak English, so you don't have to go through the translation. And I'm not knocking Black Ted. I think that his content is extremely good. Very welcoming to see him in the state. I am a little bit jealous that he has 20K subscribers. Maybe one of these days I get to 1K and I learn a few things from him. All right, so Tundra Arms League, it just got released to our bracket and states right now. It was super fun. It's super exciting not only to participate in, but to watch the advanced teams out there. War did extremely well. EHZ that we went against with the Julies and her alts was extremely fun and eye-opening. Watching Core go into the top ranks, now MSG going against JVN, et cetera, it really adds a lot of visibility into different alliances, and looks at probably what I felt, and you've probably seen this in my Foundry videos, it is one of the best game mechanic events in the game. So you've got rallies, you've got garrisons, you've got city hits, you've got coordination, you have looting, you have gathering. All of those play a part into winning a match. And now being able to spectate and watch others do it can allow, like we were doing the other day with some of the matches, we were all watching a match and commenting on what they were doing well or what we did better, so we can actually start modifying our approach to Tundra Arms League and our strategy overall. So it's really great to see it. Excellent. All right, Foundry Battle. This is a big one because it's going to overlay into Tundra Arms, right? If you hold a building for 30 minutes consecutively, you're going to gain points faster. And because looting now only gives 50% of the rewards or the points accumulated than it did before, this becomes a much more interesting position. So routinely, when you were matched in Foundry, and sometimes it was off, sometimes it was good, you would have your big whales go out and try to burn as many people as possible and diminish their numbers. And what will probably happen going forward is that there's going to be a lot more focus on those big whales to hold, like Julie did against us, and accumulate points, while the other whales or the higher powered players go after the burning or rallying other buildings. So this is a really interesting, very subtle mechanic onto the strategy of things. It may not really thwart what you're doing altogether with it, but it's going to be something that we're going to be looking for, because 30 minutes is half that battle, and it can be fun. But if you're mismatched, obviously you're going to go back to burning. Mercenary prestige, great, right? So there's a lot of these that are not worth even mentioning. Alliance member leaderboards for Labyrinth, for Fortress battles, et cetera, et cetera. I want to jump ahead to one on the Chief Stamina. So excuse me. So on the Chief Stamina, if you didn't know, you could stack stamina as you were getting it even free throughout. And in many states in advanced gameplay, we're storing stamina in their alts. And then come SVS, you would get these outrageous point numbers coming from abnormal use of stamina, right? Like you would have to spend tons of gems in order to get those cans, but they were just storing it in these alts and farm accounts. And you could have, more than 2,000, 3,000. That's a lot of stamina that you can go through just stored up. Now it's been capped. So you can't hold more than 1,000. It's going to equalize the playing field quite a bit, I would say, in some of the more competitive state versus state events. And I think that it's a good overall change, just to make sure that it leads into activity and you don't have a bunch of baby accounts everywhere with thousands of stamina waiting to be used for this single purpose. So it's going to get capped at what looks like 1,000, maybe a little bit higher for those above level 30, so FC1s and above. But I think it's a good change here. Injured troops, I mean, honestly, knowing the indication of how bad, yeah, stamina's capped now. Knowing how bad your injuries are, I haven't seen a case where it's really gotten in the way. So when you're in a big battle, let's say Frost Dragon, right, and you are constantly uh, throwing out 1 minute rallies, or you're taking damage when somebody's trying to take your spot, or a number of different things. Sometimes you want to be doing something other than clicking and spamming the heal button so you don't take a loss. But because you are not going to have the infirmary cap, it really doesn't matter that much. So in the places where it does matter, like let's say, BIA or whatnot, I really don't think it's a huge difference here to have an indicator of how critical my injuries are, because you're already getting notifications of how full your infirmary is before you capped out when it's really critical. Backpack learning speed for your new experts. I think that's a really good one. I thought that it was missing. It probably got overlooked in the requirements of adding in that feature. But the backpack is super useful to understand what you have, what you don't have, and what you can do, especially if you're on an SVS upgrade cycle. March skins and all that good stuff. Hey, I like all the cosmetic pieces just like as much as the next one. But honestly, from here on out, this is just, cosmetic pieces. But we're going to get into that, what I think is going to be the fun one, right? Let's get into our newest mechanic, this Tundra albums. Yeah, well, if you're not checking during SVS that your hospital is getting full, but in most cases, you have enough time, especially now that most people have that monthly pack that gives your auto healing ability. You have enough time to be healing 2,000 troops plus per tick, that that it really is just a matter of paying attention to it, right? Just kind of being diligent about it. Yeah, well, no more 45K stamina. You're still hung up on that one. All right. How many of you have done the Tundra album? Hey, what's up, Scarface? Thanks for taking some time. Appreciate it, Scarface. From one of the states that we're going to be merging into. You're smart. You just pretend not to be. Excellent. All right. So in the Tundra album, look, it's another game mechanic, much like the milestone marker that you have on the island today. And And you know what? Instead of going through that this way, let's just go ahead and get the gameplay up and running, and let's see how that goes. So I'm going to ignore some of the red dots here. Ignore my bad gear, please. I am still in the process of planning out any upgrades. Look, I got some points here. Whoop-de-doo. Good. All right. So we're going to get right into the newest element. And I'm excited because I clicked through a couple of these, but in the monument, when you click on it now, you used to get something that looked more or less like this. You had like different tiers, and then you had different rewards based off of, here you go on the monument side, just like this. So when you completed something early on in the game, okay. Yeah, we'll get to it. So I don't know that. So I don't know who Rohan Kapoor is in the game. Thank you for being here, but I see that you've got a question about you completed something, but it's asking you to do something. I don't know yet. Haven't really gone into it. So we're going to go into it together. So feel free to call it out when you see it. But you've got some things here, right, where you complete as a state, as an alliance, or as an individual pieces of of progression, right? And it's supposed to kind of carry you through. But now you're going to get it a little bit more. You're going to get it into this album, and I think that this is a good ad. It's a surprising one too. So there are things in the game that you start taking for granted that you've accomplished. So when we're looking at this, and we're going to go ahead and click on album missions because that's what it wants me to do. But I've produced more than 30 million of any resource in the city. Awesome. Got it. Okay. 50 million. Okay. Got it. 100 million. Got it. 500 million. Got it. 1 billion. 5 billion. 10 billion. All right. So I've completed gathering more than 10 billion resources. It's like, man, I probably play this game way too much. I've completed gathering more than 10 billion. I'm laughing. I was like, man, that's a lot. I thought it was going to cap out before it stopped. But it's good to kind of see where we're at with what we've done here. Okay, this is 50. Awesome. Let's go back. Hold on. I hit a cap there. So it's saying, where'd it go? Oh, where'd that go? All right, so furnace level 7, furnace level 10. So this is a different map piece, right? 18. We're going to go through these. So we can claim these. So as we get to different milestones, just like we're seeing like on the bear hunt, when you get more damage, you get to claim some free milestones. Anything that the game's giving you for free, I think it's a good thing. And I think that most of these are going to be relatively straightforward as to how to obtain it. And I heard just through chat that there was actually one that if you're the state president. So I'm glad that they're also looking at non-power based things that you can strive and achieve to do that are completely not related to the power whale dynamic that we have in the game right now. So state presidency, in my opinion, that's a completely separate mindset. And we see that across a lot of states where it's not the biggest, baddest, strongest person having the presidency, but it's somebody of influence within the state holding it. And I think that's a really good thing. So I like that. Level 30, let's see. So it caps out at level 30. So obviously I haven't logged in for 7 days. This is net new start. All right, so this is more of the gathering resources. And where did the other one go? All right, so I can complete. So we're gonna hit the Nika. Oh, great. I'll never be president. I don't like people. All right, so let's see. So I got all these albums for the Rekindle Flames. So Song of Heroes, I'm going to obtain Song of Heroes. So this is all hero based. So how many you own. All right, that's really cool. So I'm going to grab all these books and then we're going to use them all at the end. This is probably what everybody's already done. But I'm like a kid in the playground when it's new content like this, just exploring it. So 4 stars, 5 stars, Mythic Hero Gear. All right, all good. All good. That's cool. Exploration State 300, 325. I don't even remember where I'm at. 400. I should cap out on this one. I haven't done it in a while. 475. 500. Oh, give me a general one. Okay, so 500 gives you cap that. And then this one will be when we use advanced recruitment and then epic recruitment. And obviously, that's going to scale up. So I can see already on some of those things that are going to come around, things that you have no opportunity to go back to, you're going to be able to claim them. But things that you can definitely do going forward, you're going to have to claim them brand new. So good on them for doing that. All right, what's this one? Call, rally, and hunt down a level 1 and above polar. Man, in one SVS, you can max that out. All right, that's cool. Heal soldiers. In one SVS, you can max that up. Participate in bear hunt 10 times or more. Oh, that's going to be good. So more participation, right? Not as much as power reward. Oh, island stuff. I've got a pretty decent island. All right, so I'm getting all these packs here. That's cool. Help and ally care. All right, so that's just general daily things to do. It's a good lead in. So it might incentivize some of those people that don't. Ooh, I guess I haven't cared for enough. So I did not max it out. I'm at 15,930. I'm going to have to go give you guys some hearts later. Increase Daybreak Island prosperity. See if I can click through that too. Wait, I got to get to those where it's now more complex. These are still kind of run-of-the-mill, individual contributor type items. Let's see. Hey, Raja, good to see you, my friend. Raja not gathering. That's an obvious one. You got to get gathering, man. That's an easy one nowadays. But since you don't sleep and you're always on game, maybe that's what makes it hard. So really cool. So essentially, it's segmented different parts of things that you do on the dailies, as it explains in the tool text and the guides. But I like the fact that they didn't just automatically reward you for everything that you may have done in the past. They really looked at things that you can continue to do in the future, like alliance contributions is an example here, where it's going to happen if you're active. So yeah, you don't get it for what you've already done, but it's essentially relatively easy to get it going forward. And once again, it's no cost, it's just participation. So this is what? Battlefield Epic. Become president 1 times, excluding supreme president. Okay. Whew. Made it. Participate in fighting for facility 10 times. Excellent. Stronghold. Excellent. Kill or severely injure 3 million troops. Some of you, like Bash, you probably could get this done in a single hit. I think that this is going to be a really easy one for you to max out. Oh, look, Frostfire Mine. I really wish this was released yesterday because I completed Frostfire there yesterday. But once again, incentivizing you to continue to be active and engaged in playing the game to get free rewards. So if you're not already doing these things, it's a small incentive to really complete it. And it gives you this perspective. So a lot of the games out there right now, there's a completionist mindset to 100% the game. This kind of brings that into the play too. All right, Divine Weapons, Hero Gear. Let's see if I hit any thresholds here. One piece to 70, 85, 100. That's cool. Own all these pieces. I'm excited to see what the puzzle pieces look like at the end. I gotta say that Bash gets roasted daily because she's roasted me every day this week. It is all just in the name of fun. If you guys don't know Bug, our love language is roasting and insulting. And I think that Lifty Chick says his best. Is like, why do you need enemies when you're in the Bug Alliance and you get roasted daily? All right. All right. So this one, I guess I did all right on Charm. I didn't max it. So, oh, okay, good. So Divine Weapons are maxed. Which one was this one? Tundra Alliance, the spectacular one. All right. All right. So Snowbusters got reset all the way through. Tundra Alliance, we already went through that. Where's the fishing one that you talked about? What's his name? Rohan. Where's the fishing one? Did I miss it? Did I miss it? Is it in the general? I don't know. May have missed it. All right, so we're going to enable some of these, and these will give us the puzzle pieces for the specific one. So generals, so these give us that for the scenes, and obviously these are locked in. We're just going to open them all up. The animations are cool. I think they're getting even better with the animations. The envelope opening up, the little puzzle piece with the frost star inside of it. Already got some duplicates, which is probably not a good thing. That's cool. Oh, no, I don't want to assemble it yet. I want to go through the other ones. And I'm not going to click on the rainbow one yet because I know that that's kind of like general. Well, that completed it all at once. Ooh. So, all these. Ooh, all right. I'm excited. And these give more pieces. Look at all that. Oh, this is cool. Do they have I am the fire? Oh, they all have names. Oh, so they have even individual markers on all of these. I am the fire, the artisan architect, life versus death, the icebreakers. All right. These are cool. Hey, what's up, Jazz? It's great to see you, my friend. I appreciate being here. It's been a crazy few months, as you know. So I had some time this morning, not even in my regular studio, but I said, hey, you know what? Let's get on here. Let's have a good time and let's explore something together. All right. So, oh, just like everything. Yeah, that's a lot. Don't want to assemble that now. I want to see if you can assemble it afterwards. What button you got to click? All right. So this time I'm going to get used to obtain 90. How did you guys feel when you were opening up these envelopes? What was going through your head when you were checking this out? I'm curious. All right, open this one up. All right. All right, man, this is a lot. I mean, I'm gonna leave these general ones for right now. It's only two of them that I have here. All right, I'm gonna X out of this one. All right, so furnace, I was missing one piece, and complete it to get some hardened alloy. City, I'm missing one piece. Okay, get some good stuff. All right, this one I got, so I'll get some speed ups. Dawn Alliance. Oh, do you get to set up the puzzle too? This is awesome. All right, don't judge me if I mess this up. Does it start clicking in? All right, it starts clicking in. All right, so we should be all right now. I feel like I'm in an IQ test or something. I'm going to fail this at some point. Oh, that is super cool. All right. So all the other puzzle piece games, little things, right? Like the VIP puzzle piece for your sphere skin, and the whatever, right? It's always been collect the whole thing and voila, automatically you get. It's a super nice touch to have these little mini puzzles and having to put them together. I mean, yeah, when you have to do this over and over again, it can get a little bit annoying, but it's an extra touch. It's an extra touch that the developers are putting in to make it engaging, right? So I'm super glad that they did that. I have not seen something like this in this type of game before. So that's really cool. I'm actually taken back. You get your little reward. All right. So it looks like I automatically got it. And then you get a piece of the story, the furnace, and what it means. Nice touch, Bear Studios. Nice touch. All right. So I'm going to do one more. And we get to assemble it now. So let's go ahead and assemble this now. I can't see anything. And I'm pretty okay at puzzling. So I got it. Get my reward. Nice. Now let's go ahead and check where the fragment pack is. I know that there's a recycle shop somewhere. Where's the recycle? Okay, so it brings me back to this one. Log in, publish chief orders 35 times. All right, finish 150 intel missions. Gather 50 million resources. Did I get that right? Oh, this is produce 10 billion. Wow, I produced. I didn't get the gathering one. I thought I would. All right, so let's see. Where's the recycling shop? Anybody know? There's supposed to be a recycling piece. Maybe I have to set all these up. Yes, I'm old. Can't you see all these gray hairs now that I got? It's a daily reminder in the mirror of being older than most of you. All right. I don't see it. Do you guys see it? I don't see it. So I'll probably dig through this, do all the little puzzles up front. Let me go back into the albums beside it. Okay. All right. So locked in behind that screen, going back out, going into the album. So skipping the backpack opens up the rest of the menu. So I collected 621 puzzle pieces from the looks of it for Rekindled Flames out of 1,059. Let me see what kind of awards it gives. Gems, gems. I'll take gems any day. Ooh, that's pretty good. 1,000 gems at just that relatively low amount. Let's see where my max is. Okay. Oh, it's gems, gems, gems. I'll take gems. Oh, nice. Look, I mean, honestly, you're getting all these free rewards. I know that when it's new, you get a lot. Later on, it'll be a little. But it's nice that they've put all this effort in to give you something free for regular progression, participation, and engagement in their game. That's a nice touch. Totally unexpected. If there was anybody in the community that actually had this type of feedback, that's really forward thinking and smart. So thank you for approaching it. Wow, 2 stones. That's really good. What am I missing here? Lucky hero gear chest. What's in the max? 60 charm designs, dude. More charm designs. More charm designs. Wow, that's uh, that's good. I'll take that. Ooh, and I get to go more. There we go. Song of Heroes. So you get to do that. All right. So as you complete each one of these Atlas maps, as they call it, you get some inherent buff. So you got resource production speed 5%. What does this one give you? Resource gathering at 5%. Ooh, troop attack 2%. That's good. Troop defense. I should probably get a lethality up here next. Tundra Alliance. Troop attack. Did I repeat that one? Troop defense. Are those the same? What? There's a Crazy Joe one? Troop attack. Is this a Crazy Joe one? Give me a sense. This looks like a Crazy Joe one. So I guess we're doing Crazy Joe. What's this one? All right, so you get troop attack and defense, which is good. Alliance trade. Ooh, let me trade with somebody. All right, Rash, here you go. Live. That's cool. Natalie, our latest transfer, who's also an author. If Nat's on here, or if anybody can link her book, happy to have that. Put it on the chat. I could, but I would have to go into my browser and show you guys where that is. But it is it's a really it's supposed so the book is a crime novel, and the synopsis is a family member goes missing in two different families in two different cities, and the daughters of these two families grow up in the field of kind of like criminal justice, and they find each other through investigating this unsolved mystery, and then the plot goes from there. I think it's a pretty interesting kind of like a tale of two cities mixed into crime justice and things like that. I'm excited to get it. I bought myself a copy, and I'll be reading it through. So if anybody has that, that'd be cool to give for her. So Nat Lee, our resident author. I got everybody now requesting something. Maligna came in on last transfer as well. Del Brazil. The one I can request. Let's see, which one should I request? If I request, my alliance will probably not give me anything, because that's how they show their appreciation. All right, so I can't request that. Can I not request it? Okay, I guess I can only request one here. Where's the one that I had over here? Let's see. Can I request? Oh, I can only request one at a time. Got it. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Live from Germany. So I don't own any of those. Let me see if I can request it now. Hold on. Go back to this one. And I'm going to request another level 1. Let's see if you guys can help me complete this map. Let's see if my alliance can help me complete the map. Anybody have this piece? Nice. Thank you, Lena. Also from Germany. Appreciate you very much. All right. And last but not least, you see, I'm asking for the cheapy ones. I'm not even asking for the hard ones. I'm asking for the 1-star ones. Nice, Nani. Thank you so much. Live from Texas. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I happen to have a few of those. Oh, that's really cool. So once again, this whole thing is just focused on kind of alliance and progression. The fact that you're able to exchange and not just recycle something for yourself, I think that's super cool. So taking some of the exchanges that happen in the cooking events and being able to put it into things like this, I personally I appreciate that. So I don't know where I put it. It's probably another puzzle piece someplace else, but I appreciate that very much. Fragment packs, no such scene or pack owned. Go to recycle shop, and I don't have any unopened. I guess let's see, recycle. There we go. So we're gonna test this out. I'm gonna take this level 1 piece, take 4 of them, and recycle it. And now I got 32. Used to purchase items at the Tundra album. Okay, so where's the purchase? Used to purchase items. Where's the recycle shop? Right here. All right, so I got 36. I can buy one of these books. The exchange rate is a little bit terrible. I would definitely recommend that you hold on to all your duplicates until you're a little bit further along and people are completing more, because we traded 4 pieces to get 36, so you need 8 pieces to get one of these books, and one of these books gives you 4. So it's essentially a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 puzzle pieces for every one that you might get back, and there's no guarantee it's not going to be a duplicate. So for that, just keep your duplicate and trade it. Hook each other up. Man, this is like pins at Walt Disney World, I swear. All right, so very cool. Tundra albums. Great addition to the game. I think, like the experts and such, this is actually super cool. I love when game developers go out of their way to create easy content that helps you become a completionist, So you know exactly what areas of the game you have yet to explore and how far you have to go down each one of those areas to consider yourself an expert or experienced in there. It took Jazz. It took him 3 days to get something. That's funny, man. That's funny. It's always a good time with you. Yeah, got a decent bit of boosts. Finished 2 sets. Nice, man. Thank you, Aware. Appreciate it. Aware is actually from one of the older states. If I remember right, Aware, you're from 954. Is that right? More or less. Met in transfer chat just a couple of weeks back. He went through and watched all my videos, was very grateful, in kind words. So just giving you a shout out, Aware. Thank you so much for watching it. I do this for fun. Do this to give back to the community that's given me so much, and I really appreciate it. All right, so that wraps that up. All right, so let's get into the heroes. You guys want to get into Generation 8 heroes? Sexy. Yeah, 974. I got 954, 974. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so much, man. All right. So the Generation 8 heroes, and a lot of people ask me, is like, hey, Godfather, what should I get? What should I get? And it's definitely a conversation. But heroes specifically have three different sets of options. Like if you're a free to play, true free to play spender, there's many generations that are not worth spending your limited resources on at all, including Lucky Wheel Hero, right? There are few and far between major heroes, and I think that the game is positioning them smartly in different verticals, right? So you're going to get a main hero in infantry. We got Bradley in season 7. He's a major hero that you want to carry. You get, Geronimo early on in Generation 1. You get Mia later on, etc. So there's a few heroes that have longevity for more than just one generation. And for the free to play player, this is definitely where you want to focus on. Then you've got your light spenders that you might kind of spend a couple of frost stars here and there. You're saving them. Maybe you're not as engaged, etc. Then you've got your mid-tier dolphins, and then you've got your whales. And the game really, you've got to look at what you want to be doing in the game and what specifically your role is in the alliance or state before you start putting anything towards any one of these heroes, because they are exclusive and only the hero gear gets to parlay over. Um, Widgets are exclusive, so you're spending resources to make these heroes viable for you. So selecting them correctly makes it much harder. I will go right out of the gate and say that if you are a free to play player, skip this generation entirely. There's nothing in here that will benefit you for the purposes of bear, being a better joiner, or any of that matter that is going to be worth it more than what you may have currently already. Yep. It's like Aware is saying right now, he's not even going to bother even with 5-star Godot. If you're going to be spinning the lucky wheel for SVS, I get it, right? If you've got the gems to use on that, I get it. Cool, get it, get the points, all that stuff. Definitely not worth spending. Godot is a defensive hero, right? So most everybody here is, other than Hendrix. Hendrix has probably got a little bit more longevity. Godot is definitely once and done hero gen, very much like this guy over here was. Logan, which I absolutely love Logan because he's got that one arm with the with the thing like Godfather does in my character, but he was definitely an underwhelming hero. Godot's going to be much that same way. And let me focus on the generation for free to play first. Then I'm going to go up that rank, and I'm going to end up on whales because I think that for whales, state rally leads, FDT contenders, Tal and Foundry, big guys. I think that we have to have a separate conversation altogether uh, because there's a lot of pressure to do everything all the time when you're in those roles. And I think that in this case, there's a couple of them that you can save some dimes if you wanted to. Not that you probably will anyways, but just a separate conversation altogether. So when you're looking at Godot, not worth getting. in my opinion. You're not going to be a defensive garrison. You're not going to be utilizing Godot as a joiner to bolster defensive garrison positions, etc. Right? So skip him. Hendrick is going to be pretty good in your arena. I don't think that he's that much more stellar. And you're asking me, is like, how can you give your opinion if you haven't even unlocked them? So that's a good point. When I look at heroes, when I go out and research heroes, there's definitely a lot of great information from states older than us that are in more advanced positions, and they gave great feedback. But I try to look at this in terms of like, how is it going to benefit me? How's it going to benefit my alliance? So I can provide advice to those even before I get it. Once I get them and I use them and I experiment them and I explore them, I may have some difference of opinion. So as an example, when we were in Generation 6, Renee, I told you not to get Renee, just get Wayne. But while we were using Renee, there was the ability to Renee stack on a garrison that I would have gone back and told you to get her. Now that's since been patched, so I don't have to do that. But there's always going to be a way of looking at it. So when you're looking at Sonya, your hero, another defensive positioning, you don't really need her. Hendrick, from a marksman perspective, if you've got Wayne and you have Bradley, I would focus on those two guys in your arena instead of using Hendricks. If you go the route of getting Hendricks, then obviously you're going to have a Bradley Hendricks combination in your arena, and then Wayne falls back a little bit more. So it's sad. I really love the Wayne hero. I think that his skills are great, specifically in arena, and he's a monster when he actually clicks on attack formations during that Generation 6. But, it's marginal. When we're looking at Dolphins, right, my advice to you is going to be to go after Sonya and or Hendricks. So you're probably a little bit more competitive in the arena exploration mindset. You're going to be attacking a lot more cities with the introduction of Tundra Arms League. Maybe you like burning cities, et cetera, et cetera. So Sonya is going to be a really good defensive hero to get. Hendricks is going to be a great power hero in order to add into your formation. If you've got Edith and you probably already have Mia, Forebear, and you add Hendrick to that, it's a really powerful attacking combination to go after. If you don't have Edith and you've got Wu, then you can go more defensive, right? So you can help Garrison with a Wu Ming, Sonya, Wu Ming, Sonya, and Bradley combination on the way back, or Wu Ming, Gordon, Bradley on the defensive stats. If you're on the whale side, you're unfortunately going to have to get all three. So there's no better combination, and we saw this in a really big way in Tundra Arms League, where you had disparity between Generation 7 and those that invested in Generation 8 well before SVS. Okay. The defensive capabilities, especially this game being more defensive in nature, with Godot, with Sonya, with Bradley combinations as an example, are far superior than the defensive capabilities of that we have in Generation 7, which is more attack geared. So I highly recommend that you get all three. Some of the commendations that are out there for defensive garrison would be the Godot, Sonya, Hendrick when you're dealing one-on-one, kind of PvP type style, or you're going to be doing a Godot, Sonya, Bradley if you're a defensive garrison. On the attacking side, I have yet to test this. Obviously, I've watched some of the other YouTubers out there and their content because they have some experience with it. There's a concept of utilizing Edith, Mia, and Hendrick because of their combination of skills. I'm excited to test that out because it looks far better than using Godot, Mia, and Hendrick, right? Because Godot is 100% all defense. I don't see him being very viable in anything that we want to do other than holding something. So we go back to utilizing two formations for attack and defense, specifically on major state versus state type battles. For Foundry, you're going to go with your latest generation just for simplicity and the speed of battle that you're going there. The formation that's out there, 40-20-40 works pretty well. 45-10-45 works pretty well from the testing that I've seen. 60-40 is not going to work that well here. You're going to miss out on some of the benefits that you get from the Hendrick on the archer side of the house, unlike when you're utilizing Bradley. I would still want to test the 60-40 on defense with Gadot and Gadot, Sonya, and Bradley to see how that works. And then we go through there. Oh, there we are. Natalie just joined us. T.R. Cliborn, books author of uh, what is it? Two Skeletons, One Closet, I believe is the name of the book. Is that right, Nat? Is that the name of the book? Yeah, and there's always a delay between here, so hopefully she responds back in chat. So if you can drop the book name and a link for your book. Super excited to see that become more better. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah, is the link up there? I may have missed it. Excellent. 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 So that's where we're at right now. Sonya and Hendrick are gonna Gadot and Sonya are going to last until Generation 9. They're going to get replaced quite quickly. That's where I would tell your Dolphin and free to play players to invest in Magnus. He's a really stellar infantry hero, very well balanced all around. You see him in a lot of formations and a lot of videos out there as a primary use, even in Generations Beyond, which to me adds more value to him. So you can, once again, as a recap, free to play, you can skip the whole thing, right? Low spender Dolphins. Spin the wheel for Gadot. Yeah, absolutely. Probably focus on make a choice between Sonya and Hendrick, depending on what you need to bolster off of your current crew. And if you're a whale, unfortunately, the defensive characteristics of this generation far outweigh the defensive characteristics of the previous generation. And therefore, because the game is heavily defensive based in the events that we have today, you have got to buy the whole pack. So you probably already did, especially if you're competitive in the Tundra Arms League. But for those that were waiting for SVS, uh, there you have it. All right, guys. So that completes everything. We went through mergers. We went through the game update, the Tundra album, and the Generation 8 heroes. And that covers essentially everything that is net new to our bracket of states as of today, October 22nd, 2025. So I'll open it up to chat, see if you guys have any questions for me. We can dive in any which direction. Perfect. Perfect. All right. We'll leave it back to this. Thanks, Aware. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Chia, thank you for being here. Nani, thank you. Red, appreciate you. I saw Ozzy. Thanks, Ozzy. Appreciate you being here. Six Toes, Lifting Chick. Lifting Chick, your favorite R4. Tipped you $3. I appreciate that. So cool. Lifting Chick asks, how do old people use Discord? Do they use a phone with bug buttons? Uh, Old people don't use Discord. They use a map to get to Discord, and then they have to figure it out from there. Question is, should I wait to get Hendrick now or wait till SVS? I'm always pro SVS for many different reasons. If you are not a competitive Tundra Arms League player, Don't unlock it right now. There's no need. Frost Dragon's not upon us. Nothing like that. That's a critical event. So just save it and get it later. Yeah. All for prep. We use flip phones. We use analog with the radial dial. That's how we use it. Yeah. So the leaderboard for the Tundra albums, actually, allows you to see just within your state who's got the most fragments collected. Neighboring states, all states. So everybody's relatively the same for right now. It'll start going. But once again, these are all very much obtainable. Let's see, Ace, Jesse, Black Ted, Jazzer, Nick. That's cool. So just a fun way of having some friendly competition, very much like how you see in Labyrinth. The only difference is that here, who's in first place is cool to see what they've completed or been able to accomplish. It'll be fun to see when you're in the later parts of it, and getting one more is that extra hard to get, as opposed to Labyrinth, where you can really judge somebody's power from how far they've gotten in each one of the areas. All right. Carriers and such. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, I appreciate you guys being here. Love seeing the new content. What does it say here? Jeff uses stone and chisel to make a DZ post. What am I, Moses? Thanks. I appreciate that. I don't think I look that old as you make me. Anyways, I appreciate you guys being here today. I hope that this helped. And as always, stay spicy. I'll catch you on the next one.